now. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the practical use cases on parameterized procedures and how can we define the procedures with parameters and how can we pass string type of input values to the procedures and how can we perform the various calculations on the string values. And then we have discussed how can we pass different types of parameters, not only the same data type parameters, how to pass the different types of parameters we have discussed. And then how to create the records inside our Salesforce objects through these parameterized procedures by passing the field values dynamically at runtime through parameters we have discussed. And then we have discussed about the static procedures, how to create static procedure, and how can we call the static procedures just by using class name dot method name we have discussed in the previous session. And then I have given two assignments in the previous session to create two procedures in order to create a lead record, to create an account record with the parameters. How many people are done? Two members. You are not yet done? No. Not yet done? Absent. You are getting videos also, right? Whenever you are not attending the session, just you can go through the videos so that we can continue with the rest of the features very easily. Now, did you get the chance to look into the video at least? Okay. Okay. Tomorrow we'll complete. So don't make the things pending here. Try to complete as soon as possible. Now, next one. Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss about few more features like as chaining methods. So, what exactly the chaining method? What is the chaining mechanism? How to implement this? Okay, we'll see with the practical. So, what do you mean by this chaining mechanism? Okay, now let me explain. Generally, how the chaining chain will look like, which will be having so many links will be available. These will be interconnected here. You will be having so many links are available which are interconnected. A normal chain will be look like this, which is having so many method, so many links which are interconnected here. Now, like the similar way, whatever the way we are having that various links which are interconnected, like the similar fashion, we can able to implement chaining mechanism inside the procedures also. Like for example, I'm having the various procedures. Now this is the procedure one, which is having some business logic. This is the procedure two, which is having some business logic. Procedure three, which is having some business logic. Procedure four, which is having some business logic. Procedure five, which is having some business logic. These are the five procedures. Here you can raise a question, sir, will all these procedures are in the same class or these are in different classes here? It may be any mechanism here. I'm not bothered about that. All the five procedures may be in the same class or five procedures may be from five different classes also. I'm not bothered about that. Anything. We have this of five procedures. In this case here, what we can do, we can able to implement the chaining mechanism between the procedures also. That means whenever we are invoking the procedure, okay, whenever we are calling the procedure, procedure one will execute its business logic here. Once it is executing, immediately it will invoke the procedure two also. It will invoke procedure two, which will be performing certain operation. Then immediately it will call the procedure three also. which will perform certain operation. If we need it, it will call the procedure 4 also, which will do some operation. It will call procedure 5 also here. That means what? Whenever we are implementing the business logic in the form of small units, we are going to be interconnecting over here. We are interconnecting. Now, so now in this case, whenever we are going to be using this, okay, calling this procedure one will invoke the procedure 2, it will invoke the procedure 3, it will invoke the procedure 4, it will invoke the procedure 5, like that here, n number of chaining mechanisms we can able to implement. No limitations at all. We don't have any specific number of levels to be get implementing the chaining mechanism, n number of levels you can implement. Okay, that facility is available. Now, so now here in this case, as part of this Apex programming, as of now what we did, we have prepared separate methods. Each method we are calling separately here. Each procedure we are calling separately. But now I don't want to call this procedure separately. Whenever we are calling one procedure, it should call the remaining automatically one by one, like as a chaining mechanism here. Okay? Now, so now here in this case here, now let's see how can we do that. Let me explain. For example, I will give you the multiple scenarios in this case here, how to do that. For example, I am preparing a class. Public class, some common helper class. Common helper class. In this class, I am preparing a method. Public static void show message. Here I am writing some business logic. Here I am writing the business logic. Second one, I am preparing one more procedure in the same class here. Public static void send email alert. Now, here I am writing the business logic. I am writing some piece of code to send the email alert over here. Next, I am preparing one more method. Public static void send SMS alert. Here I am writing some piece of code. So now these are the methods that we have. Now I have a class. I have a class. In this class, I am having three different methods: show message, send email alert, send SMS alert. Okay, these are the three methods are available. All the three methods are there in the same class. Now I want to call these three methods. What we will do generally? How to call these methods? We need to go to execute anonymous window. In the execute anonymous window, we need to call each and every method separately here. How to call? By using class name dot method name. Why class name dot method name? Because it is a static method. So we need to specify common helper dot show message. We need to call this method which will be performing the operation for you. Common helper dot send email alert. We are calling this a method which will send the email notification. Common helper dot send SMS alert. Now we are calling this method. This method also will be okay executing here, which is going to be sending the SMS alert here. So in the execute anonymous window, we need to call each and every method separately here. Okay, now. So now tell me, for example, assume that today I went to that ATM machine to withdraw some money. So now as soon as the money has been getting withdrawal from that ATM machine, immediately you are getting some notifications, right? Yes. We are getting one email alert, we are getting one SMS alert. Now, in this case here, what needs to be done? As soon as whenever we are invoking this show message, I want to call this, okay, email alert, I want to call SMS alert both. Okay. Whenever I'm invoking or whenever I'm executing this method show message here, then I don't want to call this two methods. This show message should call the remaining two methods automatically here. I want to do like that. Now in this case, how can we do that functionality? In that case, we can able to call these two methods directly. Now we can call these two methods. Now, in this case here, once whenever we are invoking this show message method, I would like to call remaining two methods automatically. Now tell me these two methods are available where? In the same class or in a different class? Same class. If the methods are available in the same class, how can we call directly by using method name? We don't want any class name dot method name. We don't want any object name. Directly we can call over here. Okay. Now, so now here in this case here, I would like to call this remaining two methods. Directly we can call. What is the method name? Now, send email alert method and then send SMS alert method. So both the methods we are invoking over here. In this case, what happened? Whenever we are calling this particular show message method, then the method will be executed. Internally, this method will be calling other methods also over here. Clear? Understood the concept now? Now, in this case, do we need to invoke these two methods separately here? No. Because if I'm calling the first one call the remaining two methods automatically by default here. Okay? Now, so that we no need to call this two methods. Understood the concept here? So whenever we are implementing this okay procedures, we can implement a chaining of procedures also. That means one procedure can invoke another procedure also. Second one can invoke the third one can invoke the fourth one. Like that, n number of levels of chaining mechanism we can implement in Apex programming. Okay, clear up to this one? Next, one more here. One more scenario as part of this. Let me explain what exactly it is. Here I'm having one more class. Now, here I'm having one more class over here. I'm having one more class. Now, public class printing helper. Now, I'm having a method public static void. Now, print the document. Print a document. Here we are writing some business logic. Write the logic to send the document to printer. I'm writing some logic over here. Now, so now here in this case, whenever we are going to be invoking the say show message method, upon invoking show message method, it is going to be sending that email alert by calling this method. It is going to be invoking SMS select method also. Once a SMS notification has been sent, then I would like to send the document for the printing purpose here. I want to call this method. I want to invoke this method inside this send SMS select method here. How can we call? How to call this method? Now, no need to create the object because this method is what? Static. Static methods, how can we call? Class name dot method name. That's it. Simple, straightforward here. So now here in this case, we are calling this a method. This is a method which I would like to call. This method also there in the same class? No. This method is in a different class. In this case, if the method is available in a different class, we need to call this a method by using class name dot method name. Now, so now here in this case, I would like to call this a method here. How to call the method now? Printing helper dot print a document. Printing helper dot print a document. Clear? Understood the concept here? Whenever we are going to be implementing the chaining mechanism, one method can invoke another method also. That method may be available in the same class, that method may be available in a different class. If the method is available in the same class, we can call directly by using method name. If the method is available in a different class, we need to call that method by using class name dot method name. If it is a static. If it is a non-static method, then create the object of the class by using object name dot method name. We can call this. Okay, understood the concept now? Next one here. Observe this one. Now I have one more class. I have one more class. Public class accounts a helper. I'm preparing a method. Public static void delete account. I'm passing account record name. Here I'm writing some business logic. Write the logic to delete account based on name. So now I'm preparing a procedure with the name delete account. Which account record you want to delete? This is a name. I'm passing a name to you. Whatever the account record name that I'm passing, with that name, whatever the account record is available, collect the record, delete the record from the object here. For that one, I'm writing some logic over here. Okay. Now some logic we have written. Now my requirement is I want to call this a method okay, from show message method here. What can I do? I want to call this a method from show message method. How can we do that? What can I do? This is a method. I want to call this a method. Now inside this a show message. How can we call? Class name dot method name. Then in this case, I'm implementing this. I'm invoking the method by using class name dot method name. What is my class name? Accounts helper dot delete account. Can I call like this? Right. What kind of parameter the method is expecting? String type of parameter. So whenever we are going to be implementing the chaining method, whenever we are calling other method, if the method is having some parameter, we need to pass the values also. As of now, we have called directly the methods that don't have any parameters. But now there is a method called as a delete account, which will be having some business logic to delete the account record based on the specified name. So whenever if you want to call this method, we need to pass the record name here. That means parameter value we need to pass. With that name, record B is available or not, it won't bother about that here. That will take care of that. So now upon calling the method, we need to pass a parameter value. For example, I'm indicating that name as, for example, I would like to specify edge communications. Edge communications. Okay. Now I would like to pass this value. So in this case, whenever we are going to be implementing, whenever we are implementing the chaining mechanism, we can call one method from another method also, like as multiple levels of chaining mechanisms we can do. But upon invoking the method, if the method is in the same class, directly we can call the method by using method name. If the method is available in any other class, we need to call the method by using class name dot method name. If the method is a parameterized method, we need to call by using class name dot method name along with by passing input parameter value here. Okay, understood the concept now? Next. Now, the same thing already we are done. Like for example, assume that previously we have implemented so many functionalities. This is the class. In this class, we are going to be creating the object of this class. We are inserting the record. Once the record has been inserted, we are printing the message, right? How? System.debug. System is what? Separate class. Debug is a separate method. This method is expecting some string type of value. We are passing as input. Okay. So many places we have called this system.debug method here. Okay. So now this is nothing but chaining of methods. One method we can call from another. That means that is nothing but reusability. Okay, write the code once, reuse it in different places whenever you want, wherever you want. Okay, understood the concept now? Next. Now make a note of this one, chaining methods. By using this feature, by using this feature, we can make or we can call we can make the methods can communicate with each other to share the workload. That is, instead of writing the complex business logics inside a single procedure, we can split the logic to different procedures and we can call one procedure from another. Previously, we have called one if condition from another if condition, one collection from another collection, one for loop from another for loop. Now we can call one procedure from another procedure also. Now we can implement n number of levels of chaining methods in Apex programming. While invoking the procedure, from the same class procedure which is available in the same class, then we can call the procedure directly. If the target procedure is available in a different class, then we have to call the procedure by using object of the class. If the target procedure contains any input parameters, then we have to supply the values for the procedure. We have to supply the values for the parameters. Done with this? Now, let me show you how can we implement this. Take a small use case now. Write an Apex program to insert a hiring manager record and a related task record. Write an Apex program to insert a hiring manager record and a related task record. Done with this? Now, I want to prepare two methods over here. One method is used to write the code to insert hiring manager record. Second method is used to write the code to create a task record. Now, whenever we are creating a task record should not be independent. Task should be related to hiring manager. So, once a hiring manager record has been inserted, whatever the hiring manager ID is available, this ID I will pass to task record method here. Now, the task record method will collect the hiring manager ID. Now, this ID will be passing to the relationship field. So, we can make this a task record should be related to hiring manager. Okay. Now, let's see how can we do this. I'm going to my Salesforce ARG now. I'm going to my Salesforce ARG. I'm going to the developer console. I would like to create an Apex class. HR record helper. I'm creating a new class with the name HR record helper. I'm preparing two methods here. First method, public static void create HR record. And then second method, I'm preparing public static void create related task. Now this task record method requires one ID. What ID? Hiring manager ID. So that here it is expecting one ID parameter here. Now I'm indicating HR record ID. I'm giving the parameter name as HR record ID. Clear? Understood the concept now? These are the two methods. Now this create HR record is a parent method. This is a child method. Because to create the parent record, we are using this method. To create the related child record, I am preparing this method. So this is a parent method. This is a child method. Now, in the parent method, I am writing the code to create hiring manager record. You know how to write the code. Hiring manager HR record equals to new hiring manager. I'm creating the object of this hiring manager class. Now I would like to supply the values for each and every field. Now I would like to take the person details over here. Now, now, what name? Prasanna. This one? Okay. Now. So now here I would like to create a record over here. HR record dot name. I'm giving the name as Sam Prasad Kumar. HR record dot location. I'm giving the value Sam Chennai. HR record dot contact number. I'm passing some value. Designation, I'm passing the value as he's a recruitment specialist. HR record dot employment type, I'm giving as permanent. HR record dot email address, I'm passing the value prasad dot k at the rate some gmail.com. HR record dot current CTC. Some 15 lakhs. I'm giving the value, I'm inserting the HR record. Once the HR record is inserted, I would like to show the confirmation. If HR record dot ID not equals to null, then I would like to show the message. System dot debug hiring manager record inserted successfully. Record ID, I would like to show that. HR record dot ID. Clear up to this one? Now. So now here with this one, I'm done with that business logic for first method. Now the first method is going to be, okay, inserting a new hiring manager record. So now, once the hiring manager record has been inserted successfully, what needs to be done? For this HR record, I want to create a related task. But the task related code I'm not writing over here. I want to write in a separate procedure. Now, in this case, in order to map the link between these two records, I need to pass hiring manager record ID to this method. So that I'm calling this method over here. Call the method. How to call this method now? Class name dot method name. Why class name dot method name? When we have to use class name dot method name? Only method name. Why only method name? Within the class. So whatever the method or the target method which you are going to call, that is also available in the same class. So directly we can call this a method over here. Okay. Now we need to specify here. Call the method by using the name create related task. But this method is expecting one ID. What ID we need to pass? Record ID. What record ID? HR record ID. How to collect the HR record ID? HR record dot ID. Now this ID value will be passing to this particular parameter over here. Here this parameter you can give anything here. Simply we can specify HID also, no problem. Parameter name can be anything, but please give a meaningful name over here. Now here I'm indicating like as HR record ID here. So whatever the hiring manager record ID is available, I'm passing the ID to this method here. Now here I would like to check whether this parameter value is empty or not. Based on that, we can create related task. Now here I would like to check if HR record ID not equals to null. If the HR record ID is not null, that means if this parameter value is not null. That means whenever we are calling this method, whatever the hiring manager record ID available, this value will be passing to this method automatically. Now here it will be storing inside this parameter. So now I'm checking that whether this parameter is empty or not. If it is not null, that means hiring manager ID is available. Then I would like to create related task record. Then how can we create the task record? Create the object of task class. Okay, task some tsk equals to new task. I'm passing the values. Task dot priority and then status and the progress. And then we can specify the subject, activity date, description, and everything. Task dot priority. I'm giving this as high priority task. Task dot status. I'm indicating now in progress. Simply we can say not started. Task dot activity date. That means okay, task close date. That means maximum target date of the task. I would like to indicate system dot today dot add days of 1. That means tomorrow will be that close date. Now Task dot subject. I'm indicating please submit the timesheet of this week. Task dot description. Now, dear HR person, now I'm indicating this. Now, this is to inform you that we have to submit all the timesheets for this week by tomorrow evening. Now, please fill the timesheet inside the HR portal and submit for approval from the client. I'm indicating thanks and regards. Now, talent management team, some Delin Corporation. This is the task description. Now this is a task record I would like to assign to the HR record. So for that one, what we can do, TSK dot, what is the field we need to use now? What ID? What ID? Right. What ID? Now we need to pass this ID value here. Now whatever the hiring manager record ID we have collected, we need to pass this value to what ID field. Now when we are using who ID field, his lead. That means now this is the parent record ID, right? If the parent record is either a contact or a lead or a user, then we have to use who ID. Why? Because contact means person, that means who. Lead means person, who. User means person, who. So in this case, these are standard. So in these three objects, we are having email ID field is available automatically here. So now in contact also we have email field. In the lead also we have email field. In user also we have email field. So that we need to pass OID. Other than these three, any other object we have to use what ID field. Okay, what ID. That means I'm relating this a task with this HR record here. Now insert the task record. Insert task. Now I would like to check the confirmation. If tsk.id not equals to null, then I would like to show the message here. Task record has been inserted successfully. That's it, done. Okay, we are using chaining of methods because when you go to the real-time implementation, almost 100% will be purely chaining methods. Okay, one method they're calling, second one will call third one will call fourth one, like that. They keep on calling multiple methods, multiple levels to implement complex functionality. Okay, now in this case, whenever we are invoking this create HR record method, this method is going to be creating a new hiring manager record inside the object. Once the hiring manager record has been inserted successfully, it will show that confirmation message. Along with that, it will call the second method to create a related task. Now, just you can go to that second method. The method is going to be invoking. This method is expecting the hiring manager record, so we are passing the ID of the record. Now, this ID we are passing to this what ID field so that we can make these two records should be related. Okay. Now tell me which method we need to call now. This is the first one. This is the second one. Which method we need to call now? Second one or first one? First one. Because first one internally call, second one automatically here. Now, suppose for example, you can raise a question. Sir, hiring manager record already we have created sometime before 2 days back. I have created the HR record. Now I want to create the related task. What can I do? Hmm. In that case, what we can do at that time, just you can call the second method. In this method, here in the single quote, we can pass that record ID, HR record ID. That's it over. Okay, understood the concept now? Now I would like to invoke this method. HR record helper dot create HR record. As soon as once you click on this execute button, automatically the record will be getting created. It will create a related task also. Go to your Salesforce arc, go to this hiring manager object. Now we can see the record which we have created by using the name Prasad. Prasad Kumar record has been created. Now this is the Prasad Kumar record has been created successfully over here. Now where is the task record? In the right side in the activities. Task and event both are comes under activities part. So whatever the task that you have created, whatever the event we have created, those will be storing over here. If you want to create the task and event by your own here, now this is the option here. This is for task, this is for event. To send the email to this person, we have to use this email. This is to make a call, that means log a call. Now, so now this is the task option. If you want to create a new task, click on this. It is providing the user interface to create a new task record also. Now, but already we have created a task record over here. Now let's see the task record details. Here we can see the task details, upcoming and overdue. This is the task record here. Here it is showing a small red color flag symbol. This is indicating what? This red color flag symbol will be visible whenever we are making the priority as high. If you make the task priority as high, it will show that red color flag. Red color flag is indicating this is important. Okay, first of all, we have to work on this. So this is a high priority task. Now to see the task detail, just you can able to expand it. We can see the task detail here. These are the task details. Now it is indicating this information. This is the description also we have. Now, clear? If you want to see the complete details, just you can click on this task name. Task details will be getting visible here. This is the details over here. Now, this is the task subject and the activity date and the description. Now, in this case, if you want to change the status over here, then you can able to change the status also over here. Now, I would like to specify, edit the task. I'm working on this task now here. So in progress. Now, we are updating the status of the task also. Once the task has been completed, then we can able to mark as complete. Click on mark as complete over here. Task has been completed, status has been updated. When you go to the hiring manager record, that is Prasad Kumar, now, here we can see that. Now it is indicating, do we have any upcoming task over here? No, these are all are completed over here, completed task section. Okay, upcoming means what? In future, do we have any pending things? Those will be visible over there. If you're already done, those will be visible in this case over here. Okay, now, this is how we can create that chaining mechanism in order to call the methods from one class to another class also depends upon our business requirement. Clear? Now, you want to write this code or can I share the code? What you want to write? Okay, clear. Next one. Next one, functions. As of now, we have discussed procedures. Okay, procedures with the parameters, without parameters. Procedures with a static and non-static. Procedures with a chaining mechanism. Multiple scenarios we have discussed. Now let's come to the concept of functions. So what do you mean by a function? What it indicates? How these are different from procedures? Hmm. Right. Procedure won't return any value back to the calling environment because procedures are like as fire and forget option. Okay, fire and forget option, but don't expect any result back. Okay, don't expect any result back here. Okay, now. So now here in this case over here. No, see, not output. Okay. Once a procedure has been invoked, it won't return any value back. That's what we are writing the return type as void. Void means nothing. This procedure will be doing some operation, but it won't give any acknowledgement back to you. It won't give you any confirmation back. Until or unless you are not looking into that, okay, actual functionality, then you don't know operation has been done or not. But when you go to the function, it returns a value back here. Boss, I'm done with the operation. You will get the clarification, you will get the confirmation back over here. Okay? Now, let's see here. So now here in this case, when coming to the functions, functions are also same like as procedures. Functions are also same like as procedures. So the function also will be having one or more statements inside it. Function also will be having one or more statements inside it. So we can write complex business logics also. We can write complex business logics also inside this over here. Now, so now here in this case here, whenever we are invoking the function, function will be getting executing that piece of code. Once operations has been done, function will return a value back to you here. That means whenever we are giving some input, function will return some value over here. That means functions are like as request reply options. Functions are like as request reply option. Whenever we are invoking the function, whenever we are requesting to the function, it will return some value back to you here. Based on the value, we can able to go ahead for further operations also over here. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, when coming to the function, function also same like as procedure, which will be having one or more lines of code to perform a particular task. Once the operations has been done, function will return a value back to the calling environment over here. So in this case, whenever we are defining the function, we need to indicate what type of value the function is going to return. Whether function will be returning a numerical value, or a string value, or an ID value, or an account record, or a list collection, or what. What kind of value the function is going to return, we need to indicate. And along with that, we can pass one or more number of parameters also to the function. If you want, you can prepare non-parameterized function. If you want parameterized function also that we can do. That facility is available over here. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, how can we define this a function? Now, let's see with the syntax and with practical as well. Now, make a note of this one. Functions are like as request reply options where it contains one or more statements inside it which can be used to perform certain operations inside the application. Once the operations has been done, function will return a value back to the calling environment. Function will return a value back to the calling environment. Once the operations has been done, function will return a value back to the calling environment. Now, we can pass one or more parameters to the function based on the need. Based on the requirement, we can pass one or more parameters to the function. Now syntax. We can specify the access specifier. We can use the keyword static if you want. Return type, function name, and optionally we can pass parameters. Write the business logic. And then we can specify a statement, return the value. Each function will return the value to the calling environment by using a return statement. Done with this? Now, then how can we implement? Okay, now let me show you. Done with this? So let me take a small use case. I would like to create an Apex class. Now I would like to indicate. I'm going to indicate math utility. I'm preparing a class with the name math utility. I'm preparing the function. Public static. No, I'm not giving any return type over here. Addition. Now I want to prepare a function which will take two integer values as input. It has to perform the addition. It should return the value back over here. Now, as of now, what we did, we are preparing a procedure. We are taking two integer values as input. We are doing the operation of addition. We are printing by using system.debug. But now that result I don't want to print on my debug log file. I want to print that result on my Lightning component here. Or on my Visual Force page I want to print. Somewhere I want to print. I don't want to print on the debug log file. Then in this case, what needs to be done? Function will receive both the values. It has to do the operation. Once the result has been generated, it should pass the value back to the calling environment. In this case, we are going to be using the help of this function. Now, we are going to be calling the addition function integer first number, integer second number. It will take two input values. It will do the addition. How? First number value plus second number. What value it is going to return now here? It is returning this value over here. Okay, it returns that value. Now tell me what is this value type? Integer. So whenever we are doing the addition of two integers, result also again an integer. So whatever the value you are going to return, specify the return type over here. Now specify that integer. That's it. Okay. Please remember that point over here. Whatever the value you are going to return, whatever the data type you have mentioned, both should be exactly matching. If both are different, it will show the compilation error. Okay. Whatever the return type you have mentioned, same type of value we have to return it back over here. Okay. Now for example, I would like to perform one more public static multiply integer first number, integer second number, integer third number. Now I would like to return the value here. First number value into second number value into third number value. What is the return type now? Integer. Now I'm taking two numerical values over here. I would like to compare whether both are equals or not here. Now, or I would like to take two string values. Public static. Now check equals. I'm passing two string values. String str1, string str2. I want to compare. If str1 equals to str2, both are equals or not? Yes, I want to return the value true. Else, I want to return the value false. What is the return type now? Now, my function is returning what type of value? It is returning either true or false. So both will be nothing but Boolean type. Now this is a Boolean. Now, observe this one. Input values are of type string. Return value is of type Boolean. So don't expect input value, output value, both are same. Both can be different also. That's what I have given this example. In the previous case, I'm passing input values of type integer, output value also, return value also integer. But here, input values are string type, return value is of Boolean type. Okay, so input values and the return value both cannot be same, both may be different also, no problem. Depends upon your requirement. Clear up to this one? Now. So now here in this case, we have prepared these three methods. Then how to call these methods now? Class name dot function name. That's it. Same. Now my class name is math utility dot addition. How many values we need to pass here? Two. Now observe this one. Here it is indicating this here. Here it is indicating integer. Suppose if it is void, then procedure or function? Procedure here. Now if it is like a some boolean, then function. Now this is integer function. That means what? Here it is indicating if the return type is void, that means it is a procedure. Other than void here, it may be any other thing that will be function. Direct, straightforward. Now I'm calling this addition function here. I'm passing the value 29,000. Second number value 14,000 here. Now in this case, what will happen now? What it will do? Whenever we are calling this addition function here, I would like to call this a method. Now, I would like to call this method. Whenever I'm invoking this method addition, it will collect this two values, it will pass these values. It will pass a value 29,000 and then 14,000. Now it is collecting this value 29,000 value, 14,000 value. Now what will be the result in this case? 43,000 here. Now it is returning this value back. It will be returning the value back. It won't print anywhere. It will be returning the value here. Now the result will be returning back. Whenever it is returning the result value, we need to catch that result here because it's like as a request response. Now we made a request here. That means we have called that procedure by passing the value. It is doing the operation. It is returning the response back. So we need to catch that response. What type of value my function is returning now? Integer type. So to store the integer value, we have to define one integer variable. I'm defining one integer variable, integer result. Okay, this is the additional functionality here. Whenever I'm invoking this function will be passing these two values. It will do that, okay, addition. It returns the result value. That value will be storing inside result variable. From there, we can print wherever you want. Now I would like to print on my debug log file. Clear? Understand the concept now? Like the similar way here. Math utility dot multiply. I would like to pass three values. 1348, 7890, now 1465, which returns a value. Integer, I would like to indicate result 1. Because already with the name result, we have defined a variable. That's what I can't define one more here. I'm just representing that result here. Now, multiply result is, I would like to represent result 1 here. That's it. Like that here, whenever we are going to be invoking the function will return the value. We need to catch the result, store into our variable. Here we can print wherever you want. Okay. Now click on execute. Now both the operations will get done. Select the debug only. Now it is indicating the result value over here. Now addition result value also and the multiplication result value also here, both will be getting represented over here. Depends upon the requirement, it will represent both the values as well. Clear up to this one? Now, This is how we can able to prepare our own functions, and then we can able to write the business logic inside this. Okay, whenever if you want to get some value back to the calling environment, then go with the function, or else we can go with the help of procedures. Okay, so this is the way we are preparing procedures and functions as part of your apex programming. With this one, we are done with that subprogramming, subprograms concept here. The next one will be, okay, we are going to use that SOQL queries. We are done with the collections also, all the functionalities. Now, we are going to be discussing about a functionality called as SOQL queries. What exactly SOQL query, how to use that, we'll see one by one in tomorrow's session. Okay, don't miss that SOQL queries part, that is most important. Okay. But do the practice on these procedures and functions. From now onwards, every business logic we are writing in the form of procedures. Okay. Thank you.